Hey, at this point we need to get back the mood board we prepared before. We included there the color palette and some references such as the typography and the pine leaves that I want to use for decorating my Christmas card. So let's get started. The first thing I'm going to do is add the color palette to the swatches panel so that we can use it easily. Okay. And after that, I'll group them in a color group. It's important to be organized when working. Great, now select the text and press Ctrl G to group it and avoid spoil it while working. As you can see, I always work with shortcuts. In case you aren't used to them yet, I recommend you to start using them since they speed up the process. What I'm going to do now is add a background to the card. To do it, create a rectangle and color it using a tone from your palette. After that, bring it to the back. As far as I'm concerned, I prefer doing it by pressing Ctrl X and pasting it with Ctrl B. Then press Ctrl 2 to lock the background. Next, color the text. I'm going to use the light tone from my color palette and modify the stroke thickness. If you can't see the text clearly due to the selection lines, you can go to View menu and click on Hide Edges. A shortcut for it is Ctrl H. We can use it to hide or show the selection lines while working. Now I'm going to set thickness to 3 and I'm going to fill the eye dot. Right. That's it. Guys, I think it would look great adding a shadow to the text. So let's duplicate the lettering with Ctrl C and Ctrl B. Use the arrows to move the text and place it wherever you want. Okay. I'm going to select the darkest tone. And now let's start decorating the card. First, go to the brush panel and create some brushes for decorating the card. Create 2 circles. Insert 2 pointed ends to one of them and just one to the second circle. And how are we going to create a brush from these circles? Drag the first circle to the Brushes panel and select the option Art Brush. Then, within the colorization parameter, select the Hue Shift method so that we can change the color if we want to. Let's do the same for the other circle. This time, however, I'm going to change the direction since it's easier for me to work this way. Well, my custom brushes are ready. As you'll see, the stroke is similar to a leaf. We can get bigger leaves by changing the size. Then, if I choose this other brush, the leaves will be pointed in both ends. Apart from this, I'm going to create a branch-like brush. First, use the pen to draw the skeleton of the branch. Just draw one branch and duplicate it with Ctrl D. For the leaves of the opposite side, I'm going to reflect this selection and move it upward slightly. Let's put the branch at the top on a vertical position. That's it. What I'm going to do is select all the branches and apply the brush we created previously. increase the size and our first branch is ready. Let's do another one using the other brush. Duplicate it and apply the other brush to the branches. Great. Then a third one with thinner branches. Duplicate and modify, that's all. What about a fourth version? I'm going to use the first branch, expand the leaves, add an outline, and insert ribs inside them. Perfect. I believe I have enough branches. Group each of them with Ctrl G and make them smaller. That's it, smaller. Because they were too big for the card. Okay, how are we going to turn them into brushes? By simply dragging them to the brushes panel. Don't forget to check Art Brush option. And this time, I chose an upward direction. So our brushes are ready. Let's try them out. Okay, select one of them and see, it's really cool. Now it's just about playing around and trying different options until getting the one we like the most. Well, let's group the lettering with its shadow, okay? Now we're going to unlock all the elements to copy the square in the background. Then generate 6 copies of the card by pressing Alt. Lock again the squares of the background with Ctrl 2 and play around using different brushes we created to get the result we expect. Okay, there it goes. We have 6 different versions, but to see them clearer, I'll add a mask that hides the part exceeding the card's edges. To do so, draw a square over each of them, select everything, right-click and press the option Make Clipping Mask. Much better now. I think my favorite is the one of the middle in the second row. This one. So let's zoom in to see if something needs to be modified or improved. To work more comfortably, remove the layer by right-clicking and select Release Clipping Mask. Then, delete the rectangle. What I'm going to do is group in the branches to work effectively. In some areas, the leaves overlap the letters, and I don't like it, so I'm going to press Ctrl X and Ctrl B to bring the text forward. However, now the branches are under the shadow. To fix this, go to Object menu and click on Ungroup to separate the branches and the lettering. Then, bring the branches forward. Reduce the branch's opacity as well. And it's ready, I believe. So I'm going to lock all the layers again. Select the element with a rectangle and click again on Create Clipping Mask. Oops, I realized that the fill color of the eye dots is wrong. So let's correct it. That's it. We can say our Christmas card is ready. We won't work in Illustrator anymore. This time we'll open up Photoshop to add the last details. So export the artboard and make sure you save it in PSD format. Well guys, in the following lesson we'll be adding last details in Photoshop, okay? So see you there.